Hello everyone, my name is Asyrafchazz and welcome back to yet another One Piece card game video. And apparently Christmas came a little early this year because the official One Piece card game Twitter page just dropped all 8 leaders for OP-03. But I'm all for it, I love it, and you know what? We're gonna talk about every single leader in this video. Now we did talk about 3 of them, Katakuri, Rob Lucci, and of course Arlong, but we're gonna just briefly talk about them and then we're gonna go focus on the other 5 new leaders. Now we know that Ace and Nami were on the docket, but who could have expected? First of all, Captain Kuro. I did mention that maybe Captain Kuro could be in as a leader or like as a character because, you know, he's blue, right? But who would have thought that Iceberg would be a leader? That came out of nowhere, man. And of course, the last one being Big Mom, which we kind of expected because she did take up a super rare slot in the starter deck. So it's kind of following the trend as always. The starter deck super rares will turn into leaders in the set. So that's great. But I'm going to talk about every single one of them and all their effects, and let's see how good all these leaders are. So if you enjoyed this video, please consider giving a like and subscribing if you want to keep up to date with more One Piece card game content. Now without further ado, let's take a look at all 8 leaders coming from OP-03. Okay, so I've already talked about these 3 leaders, Katakuri, Rob Lucci, and Arlong in another video. If you want to watch a more in-depth description on what I feel about these leaders, link will be in the top right hand corner and also in the description, but we're going to go through their effects first just in case someone's watching this for the first time. So first of all, we got Charlotte Katakuri, 5 life, 5000 power, yellow leader with a striker attribute, part of the Big Mom Pirates, and his ability is Dawn 1 when attacking. That means having 1 Dawn attached to Charlotte Katakuri. Look at up to 1 life card from the top of you or your opponent's life area and put it either on the top or the bottom of the life area. Then this character gains plus 1000 for this battle. So a very, you know, generically strong effect, I would say. At the end of the day, Katakuri will always be a 7000 powered attacker, which I think is kind of strong, and who knows, the effect will kind of play into the rest of the cards from OP-03 as well. But Katakuri, you know, is my favorite. I'm planning to main Katakuri once OP-03 is out because he's just my favorite antagonist of all time, and I cannot wait to see his alternate art leader card. But next we got Rob Lucci. He's 5 life, 5000 power, the striker attribute because he's fully mono black, part of the CP9, and on your turn, once per turn, you may discard 2 cards from your hand. When an opponent character is KO'd, put this leader to active. So it's a big ask because you gotta KO an opponent's character and you have to discard 2 cards from your hand to make him active again. But if there are cards to kind of support the Rob Lucci strategy, then it might be worth considering to play him as the leader instead of like something like Smoker or even the Sakazuki from the starter deck. So Black's looking good. Black has options now, and let's talk about Arlong next. Arlong is a green yellow leader. He has 4 life, 5000 power, the slasher attribute, part of the Fishman, East Blue, and Arlong crew, which is really cool. So his ability is Dawn 2, that means having 2 Dawn attached to him when attacking, and then you gotta pay a Dawn, play 1 cost of 4 or lower character with trigger from your hand. Now we have seen a few that of a yellow trigger cards that actually are quite good, so we kind of haven't seen the rest of the Arlong crew cards, and I'm expecting to see a certain number of Arlong crew cards in the next set, which is kind of cool. You know, maybe we get some Hachis in there, and I'm really excited to see what their effects are, but it has to be specifically a character card with trigger, so you know it's going to be quite cool as well. Alright, next let's talk about the new leader, starting with my main man, Ace. Podgast the Ace has his own leader card. It's a raid leader, as he should be. 5 life, 5000 power, the special attribute, part of the Whitegate Pirates. And when this leader attacks or is being attacked, you may trash any number of event or stage cards from your hand. For each card you trash, plus 1000 power for this leader during this battle. This is an incredibly unique and quite strong effect because you don't have to put any Dawn onto Ace, or at least you don't have to sacrifice cards with counters to protect Ace. You can just like, all right, I'm going to attack with Ace, I'm going to trash like 2 event cards, I'm going to give it plus 2000 power. Maybe it's an event card that benefits from being in the trash or something like that, I don't know. Oh, and you're being attacked and you don't have like that extra, you know, you're always countering with 2000. People are attacking with like 7k, right? So you will, you know, throw a 2k counter and then you can just discard an event or stage cards that you don't have the Dawn to play, and it just gives an additional 1000. I think Ace Ace is going to be leading with some of those decks that are actually really quite strong. I'm really loving Ace's effect. It's kind of like, you know, I don't know, he's like a low gear fruit, and you know, it's very tricky to attack into him. You know, he has some tricks up his sleeve, and it's just a little cool, and I really like the effect. So, you know, even if the stage card that you have extra in your hand, because if you run a full playset of 4, they're bound to be extras in your hand, you can use it to Ace's effect, and it's really wonderful. I really quite like it. This is so freaking cool that Ace as a leader. I can't wait for his alternate art. I love that Ace is a leader. It's definitely one of my new favorites for sure. But let's talk about Kuro next. Alright, so Kuro is our next leader. He's a green leader, 5 life, 5000 power, the slasher attribute, part of the East Blue and Black Cat Pirates. Haven't heard that in a while. And his ability is activate main, pay 3. You may rest 2 characters with the East Blue type. Then set this leader to active and rest up to one of your opponent's characters that cost 5 or less. So I know there's a lot of things in the effect, so let's kind of break it down a little bit. So firstly, you pay 3 and then it's activate the ability, right? And then in addition to the cost, you may rest 2 characters with the East Blue type, and if you do, you set the leader to active and rest one of your opponent's characters that cost 5 or less. Okay, now I'm just kind of talking about it. Okay, if you pay 3 and you don't rest the 2, is that all right? Does it still get you set this leader? I'm guessing because it's before the colon, it's part of the cost, but it's a may rest. So I don't know, maybe it's a translation thing, but I'm not sure. But even then, this ability, if you don't have to rest the 2 East Blue type characters, right? This ability is damn strong, yo. I mean, like, it's literally just a better version of Eustace Kid. It's like you pay 3, you can set it to active, and you can rest up to one of your opponent's characters cost 5 or less. Specifically, maybe a late game blocker that you want to get rid of, that you want to prevent from blocking. So even if you have to rest 2 characters, and maybe it's searches that you have used, like the green Nami that we have seen earlier on for OP-03 that searches out East Blue types, yeah, it kind of works, you know. I like this effect. I think it's it's not really strictly an upgrade to Eustace Kid. It's just a Eustace Kid with more abilities. So I just need to get the clearer understanding about the ability, the you may rest. There'll probably be kind of discussions about that. But I'm excited about Kuro though. I think it's quite interesting that Captain Kuro has his own leader. You know, that's great. That's great for sure, and a really quite a strong ability. I really quite like it. And next up is, I think, one of my favorite leaders, like mechanically wise. It's none other than Nami. Nami is a blue leader for this set. 5 life, 5000 power, the wisdom attribute, and part of East Blue. This is pre-time skip Nami. So, you know, post-time skip Nami is great, but, you know, I have a thing for like pre-time skip Nami as well. And her ability is, as an additional rule, when your deck reaches 0 cards, you win the match instead of losing it. Oh man, somebody hold me, because I love that effect so much. We'll talk about more of that later on. Let's talk about the rest of the effects. Her other ability is Dawn 1. When your opponent takes damage to their life through the attack of this leader, you may trash 1 card from the top of your deck. So, you know, it's a little slow when you're like discarding cards from your deck, but you know, there may be other cards that help mill you. So essentially, if you don't know what mill is, it's literally like, you know, putting your own cards from the deck into like your trash. And you know, I do play like other card games such as MTG, and I have a fond place in my heart for Laboratory Maniac, who essentially is like when you draw the card, when you have 0 cards in your deck, you win the game. So like this, to me, you don't even have to draw it. If your deck reaches 0 cards, I want to see more cards that support this strategy, because it's gonna be hella fun. Like, it's going to be a race between your opponent like getting rid of your life and getting the win, versus you getting rid of your deck. I cannot wait to see the cards that support this strategy. This is 100% is going to be super fun, gonna be super memes. And let's just talk about the implication that Nami is a leader right now. So most likely she is going to get an alternate art leader of herself. And if that alternate art leader is none other than the one supposed to pose, like this one, oh man, you know, it's going to be one of the most sought after alternate art leaders for sure. People are going to be crazy about this leader, and you know what, if you are planning to open up OP-03, you know, just be careful about the alternate art Nami, because it's probably going to be super inflated upon release, and maybe like after the second wave comes out, the price will come down. So, you know, don't rush to get your Namis. You know, it's going to definitely be supply in the market for sure. I'm just letting you know, if you cannot pull it in your openings when OP-03 comes out, just hold on a little minute. Just wait. Unless you really want to own Nami straight away, then, you know, if you have the means for it, go ahead. Next up, it's Iceberg, and Iceberg is the most surprising. This is out of left field for me. I didn't expect Iceberg to be here as well. I was kind of rooting for Blackbeard to be one of the leader slots, especially when the set itself is Mighty Enemy. So maybe Blackbeard will get a secret rare. You know, just putting it out there, maybe Blackbeard slot is the secret rare. But anyway, Iceberg is a purple leader, 5 life, 5000 power, with a wisdom attribute, part of the Water 7 and Galila company, and his ability is this leader cannot attack. Okay, starting off strong. And his second ability is activate main, Dawn -1. You may rest this leader, play up to one character with the Galila company type that costs 5 or less from your hand. This is an extremely strong ability. Now, we have not seen any of the Galila company cards, but I'm assuming there's going to be a few of them in the set. And, you know, of course, yes, this leader cannot attack, so you are not attacking your opponent with your leader every turn, and you have to Dawn -1 as well. But it's cost 5 or less from your hand. You play it for free. You play it for free just for Dawn -1. Yeah. Iceberg, spoken like a true, you know, manager or like the leader of the company, is just like, you know what, I'm the CEO. I'm just gonna sit back on my comfy chair with my blueprints and all that. You all gonna do the work for me, okay? I'm hiring you from the hand onto the field. Okay, that's it. This is what Iceberg is doing essentially, and it's pretty cool as well. I'm excited to see the Galila company type cards and how powerful they can be. What if Frankie is kind of one of them as well? I mean, Frankie is kind of in Water 7 as well. Maybe he's not like Galila company, but maybe he's kind of tied to Iceberg in a way. But Iceberg, kind of cool leader for sure. Just generally, I don't know, his ability is strong. I think there's going to be such a lot of things you can play in OP-03, even more than OP-02. Like, the OP-02 leaders are great. The OP-03 leaders are great as well. I mean, like, I love this game. God damn it. You can like play so many of your favorite characters, and I know everyone's gonna playing Nami, but I'm gonna rock my man Katakuri for sure, and even Ace. I think Ace is a very interesting leader that I think is gonna be really strong. So next up, we have Big Mom herself. Charlotte Linlin is our last leader from OP-03. She is black and yellow character. So any Wiz Khalifa fans out there, you know you gotta rock Big Mom. 4 life, 5000 power, the special attribute, 4 Emperors, Big Mom Pirates, and her ability is Dawn 2. When attacking, pay 2. You may trash 1 card from your hand. If you have 1 or fewer cards in your life area, put up to 1 card from the top of your deck on top of your life area. So yes, she is doing life recovery things, but it's like there's such a huge cost. First of all, you gotta have 2 Dawns on Big Mom. Secondly, you gotta pay 2. Thirdly, you gotta trash 1 card from your hand. Then you have to have 1 or fewer cards in your life area, and then you can put the top card of your deck on top of your life area. So yes, I can see people using Charlotte Linlin for sure. I think there will be decks that will play Charlotte Linlin because you know, it's kind of like you do Charlotte Big Mom things, and then at the late game when you only have 1 life, you will be a wall. You have your Big Mom super rare that you can kind of use to recover. You can use her ability to recover, and though it's a little bit slow, which is great, you know, we don't want like massive recovery. We don't want like a lot of recovery for yellow, because it's gonna just turn into annoying games. And I'm sure all the Digimon people can vouch for that. But on its own, I think Big Mom is a very interesting leader for sure. I think having access to black makes it so that, you know, you have access to a lot of different cards, but whether or not they play nice with each other, because like black wants to minus cost, it doesn't really have anything to do with Big Mom, but you know, you can have access to like the Kuzan secret rare if you choose to. I'm not sure if you want to. Maybe some of the triggers out there that you can use. I don't know, maybe we gotta see more black cards in OP-03 that kind of work well with this Big Mom to kind of make it work. But either way, I'm glad that Big Mom is in the set as a leader. I cannot wait to see her alternate art leader as well as the rest of them. It's going to be a good time to be a One Piece card game fan yet again. It's going to be another round of collection for sure. I think I'm just going to make it a point to collect all the alternate leaders at this point. I think I just love all of them. I mean, I don't really love Captain Kuro, but I'm glad he's here. But there you go, all 8 leaders from OP-03. I know it's crazy that they have revealed it so fast. It's not even like the rest of the cards for the yellow starter deck isn't even revealed yet. But here they are dropping 8 cards in a row. They're like, you guys, have Merry Christmas, have all the 8 leaders, you know, we're gonna take the rest of the year off. And you know what, Bandai or the marketing team under the One Piece card game to the page, you all deserve the break. Thank you so much for sharing all the great cards with us, and you know what, we're gonna continue talking about them. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. Which leader from OP-03 is your favorite? I think based on character alone, my favorite is Katakuri, but effect wise, I think it's going to be either Ace or Nami. Definitely those two are very interesting. But yeah, maybe even Iceberg. If the cards from Galila Company are great, Iceberg's gonna be a threat for sure. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really enjoyed talking about all of the leaders, and I hope you guys enjoyed listening to it too. Anyway, have a great week ahead, and if you guys are celebrating Christmas soon, Merry Christmas to every single one of you. Thank you for supporting the channel, and happy holidays ahead. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.